Welcome to the Michigan 200. It's the 17th race of USF 2000 AI League Season 4, second race of the Triple Crown. We've already completed the race at Indy. After this we have Auto Club, but today it is Michigan. Double points on the line. Qualifying currently underway. Sussesamogus first car out on track. He'll be the first car to set a time. 200 miles, 100 laps ahead of us. So it's going to be a little bit of a long race. So Sussesamoga is going to be the first car to come around. Currently the 60 of Saul Goodman was on the fastest lap, but now that is Phil Slow. A 50.1. Currently the time to beat. Chad Broski beats that with a 50.14. Phil Slow is on a good one right now. But currently side by side with the 46, so that may have slowed him down a little bit. Phil Slow just barely on pole with a 50.088, but I do not think that is going to stay. Currently stuck on the outside of Wine Silly Man as they head now onto the backstretch. The 60 is on a good lap as Saul Goodman. The 32 now goes to the pole with a 49.7 with a very good second sector. But how will the 60 do? It's not going to be good enough for pole. It's only going to be good enough for third. But Sussesamogus now on pole. But he is currently free wide with the 99 of Beijing Beef and the 77 of Spencer Alfredo. Sussesamogus once again on a faster lap. Oh, how's the 32 gonna go? It is gonna be a very fast lap. A 49.4. About 4 tenths up on second place, which is the 84 of Chad Broski. So being free wide, not the worst idea. But he has a lot of momentum behind him, where some of these other guys would not be able to keep up. Wine Silly Man goes second. "18 cars have currently set a lap time. None of these guys are improving. Ruggiero Espinel moves up into second. John Panini moves up to 12th. The 69 of the father is on a good one, way on the inside. Behind the 18 of Diogo Sebastio. Where's this time gonna end him? It is going to be on pole. A 49.0. And now Maborowski in the 20 just beats it out to go first place. A 49.012, currently good enough for pole, as we still have about 3.5 minutes left. Everyone but the 42 of Missing Sock have set a lap so far. Eliza Doe in the 15. Looking for an improvement. It's good enough for 5th. Eliza Doe now into the top 5. a lot of times in those uh low 50s, a lot of times in the 49 nines. It's pretty tight in the middle of the pack. Just milliseconds separating each car. '60 of Saul Goodman, one of the first cars to go out, and is currently struggling to find more speed, as the 20 still in a good spot. The 4 could be on a good lap. This one could be close, but it doesn't look like it's going to be pole. But it is going to be an improvement to about 8th place with a 49.865. 2 of Spring Roll moves up. John Panini and OxyClean jump to the middle of the pack. Chris moves into the top 10. Definitely what the 0 would have wanted. Especially because this is a double points race, so this will severely impact the championship. Currently side by side with the 14. About a minute left in qualifying. And no one's really looking at improvements right now. '20 is looking solid. About 10 seconds left. So cars are going to be finishing up their qualifying runs. Just before the 10 got there, so the 32 will be the last car around, who is currently in 3rd place, but not getting any draft help, as the '07 of Phil Slow is stopped down on the apron. Don't know what happened there. I think he just ran out of fuel or something. So it looks like the 20 is going to be on pole for this race. So Mae Borowski, I think that's her second pole of the season. Followed up by the father, Sussa Samogus, Rogero Espinhel, and Eliza Doe. So as we get set to go, let's take a look at your starting grid. In row 1, we have Mae Borowski, second pole of the season. First one came at Road Atlanta, and then the father will be starting alongside her. Row 2, Sussa Samogus and Rogero Espinhel. And then row 3 is Eliza Doe and Wine Sillyman. Row 4 is Phil Slow and Karishima. And then row 5, Chad Broski and Chris, one of your championship contenders. Then row 6 is Spencer Alfredo and Beijing Beef, another one of those big championship contenders. And then we go back to row 7. It's John Panini and OxyClean. Row 8, the Sun and championship leader Spring Roll. Gonna be starting all the way back in 16th, but it is an oval. And with these cars, you can easily move up to the front really quickly. And you can also go to the back really quickly. Row 9, Mahavir Raghunathan and Diogo Sebastio. And then in row 10, you have teammates Gus Fring and Saul Goodman both kind of trying to go for the championship. and their team is third in the team championship, so they're gonna have to do a little bit more work today. Row 11, Tetsu Tetsu and David Baya Lois. Row 12 is Missing Sock and Max Cold. And then rounding out the field is Jacques Croissant. So now let's take a look at your race info. It is 84 degrees, so it is a very warm day here in Michigan. It is a 2-mile track, so that'd be 200 miles. Previous winners, the only one that is returning, actually none of them are returning in form, so none of the cars currently in this field have any connection to any of the winning drivers. Take a look at your point standings coming in. Spring roll up by 23 points. Extended his lead a little bit last race. Then it's Beijing Beef, Gus Fring. Phil Slow moves into 5th. Tetsu Tetsu falls down into 6th. Let's Saul Goodman, Chad Broski, Wine Sillyman, Karishima, Diogo Sebastio, Eliza Doe, Max Cold, John Panini, Oxy Clean, David Bialois, Missing Sock, Sussus Amogus, who won last race at Kentucky, the father, May Borowski, your pole sitter, Jacques Croissant, Rogero Espinel, the son, and then Mahavir Raghunathan rounds out the points, as usual. And then we take a look at your team standings. Spring Speed only up by 2 points. It is a very tight uh, team standings battle. That is Beijing Beef and Spring Roll versus Chris. Then Los Polos Hermanos, the Flat Earthers, BFL Racing moves into 5th, while the Magenta Saucies fall down to 6th. Team YouTube, The Graveyard, La Vitesse, Ruidam Sebastian Racing Foot, the Laundry Boys, Team RAS, the Italian Mob, and Raghunathan Racing. So now we're looking to be going green soon. And it's gonna be a pretty intense race. I wonder if there could be some wrecks that could also be pretty clean. We'll just have to see. '20 on pole, my prediction before the race if I had to pick one. I think that 69 is going to be strong, but the outside lane usually falls back at the start. The 20 could hold steady, but I think that 32 has always been good on the ovals, and I think he's going to win back to back. way down 19th in points. Been a rough season, very inconsistent. But I think the 32 is going to be your winner of this race, especially starting way up at the front. Definitely helps. So now we get ready to go. Pace car about ready to pull off. And here we go. Green flag is out here at Michigan. We are underway. The 20 leads us to green, 69 right behind. Look at that 10 of Rogero Espinhel already looking to the outside. And the 32 is already going for the lead. Just like that, the 32 already has that inside line. The 20 left the door open. They were about even going down the backstretch, but now the 20 falling a little bit back. The 32 will come around. He will lead the first lap, but the 20 is gonna get very close. The 20 seems to be a little bit stronger on that outside lane. A little bit of jostling in the back of the pack. Some movements in the middle. Chris way up on the outside. As now the 69 of the Favre trying to slide in, but the 15 gets a little bit of an opening on that inside. That is Eliza Doe trying to go for the lead. A little bit of a checkup in the field. The 15 of Eliza Doe to the lead. 4 wide. Gonna have to see how long this will last. Will it be green the whole way, or will we have some yellows 5 wide in the middle of the pack? But there is enough room to go 5 wide at this track. Saul Goodman, biggest mover, up 10 spots so far. Espinhel's already down 10 spots. Though there has been some big shifts. Phil Slow right behind Eliza Doe in a pretty good position if the door is left open. The 15 once again just barely leads the lap. The 32 looking strong on that outside. If the 32 can get just ahead enough, he can come down and cut off the 15. And look at the 10 all the way up on the outside almost by himself for a little bit. You'd really like to have help from behind. As now the 15 moves up to the middle lane to block, but moves right back down to the inside. The 20 still trying to work that outside. Sasasamoga still trying to keep the middle. Phil Slow is in a good position right now. The Favre right behind Sasasamogas. And then OxyClean behind the 20. 5% through this race. And it's already racing like it's one of the last laps. A Eliza Doe has been keeping steady leading this field. It doesn't matter if you're losing in the turns or you're losing on the straights. All you need to do is beat the car at the line once you get to the last lap of the race. Sussus Amogus just edging ahead, but now the 20 just about got to the lead. The insides work really good in the turns. The outsides work really good in the straights. And the 15 of Eliza Doe once again moves up to the middle, but still has just enough time to get back to that inside, while Sussus Amogus almost moved to the outside lane. Maybe that was an attempt to try to push up the 32. Because the 32 is definitely looking very strong, 5 wide at the back. And we're wrecking! That is the 99 of Beijing Beef, and that is a car backwards. I think that is the 83. That is the 83. A chain reaction. It wasn't too big of a crash, but it was the first one. Well, I think there's a lot of cars involved. Oh, there was a lot that happened. Let's see if we can see it from this angle. It seems like there was a little bit of contact between Springroll and the 83 of Gus Fring, who caught some air. Saul Goodman saved it. Beijing Beef, I saw, got a little bit of air. The 83 once again gets a little bit more air. So it was just a stack up. I don't know how many cars were involved. We're going to have to see from a different angle. We're going to have to go from up high. So you see Springroll just got tagged by the 83. Saul Goodman got some impact. Espenhell involved. Beijing Beef and Springroll both involved. That would not help them in the team standings. I think Chris had to check up. I think he was relatively okay. As Gus Fring is out of the race, it seems like only Gus Fring and Espenhell really got had during that one, as now pit stops underway. The 15 and the 32 come in, while the 07 will stay out and lead. You see the father also decided to stay out. The 20 came in, the 87 came in. Eliza Doe will win that race off pit road. Eliza Doe, Sussus Amogus, May Borowski, Chris, OxyClean, and Saul Goodman all came in and pitted under the yellow. '60 took a little bit of a longer pit stop, probably due to damage. The 87 also took a longer pit stop. Also probably had damage, but got it fixed and repaired. So they're back in it. Only the 83 and 10 are currently out of it. Fastest pit stop. Only a 4.3 from Eliza Doe, so probably just a splash of gas. And then right back out there. So Phil Slow, Vafauver, Chad Broski, Wine Silly Man, and Phil Slow's teammate Spencer Alfredo are in the top 5 as of now. And we'll be going green next time by. Currently, biggest mover in the field would be a tie between Tetsu and Max Cold, both up 12 spots since the start. As now we get ready to go back green. Phil Slow will lead us back to green on lap 10, or now a lap 11. Still about 90% of the race left. So we now gotta start thinking about settling into a groove, a good restart for Phil Slow and Vafauver. But look at the 84 on the outside, and Vafauver quickly blocked that run. Gonna have to see if the field links up or if it happens like the same at Kentucky where a couple cars break away. Vafauver all by himself on the outside. And Chad Broski moves out of the line and goes to the middle lane. And Phil Slow now moves to the middle lane, but I don't think he can get back down. Because Wine Silly Man is there. Phil Slow will just barely lead that lap. Oh! Wine Silly Man makes contact, but was able to hold on to it. So was Phil Slow, but the 46 drops back a little bit. We almost had another yellow. As the field, most of the cars have linked back together except for the 2 of Spring Roll, who seems to be off pace. Phil Slow once again gives up the inside and continues to lead some of these laps. Maborowski sets the fastest lap with a 48.114. But now Karishima is going to be in the lead in the 4 car, with a teammate right behind. So the 4 now up into the lead. Phil Slow did not lead that lap despite being on the outside for so long. So Karishima's got their teammate Tetsu right behind. Phil Slow's got Beijing Beef, who survived the wreck despite being involved. His teammate Spring Roll, however, fell off the pace. And now Karishima drifts up just a little, but moves back down to the inside. Blocks off their teammate. Phil Slow now moves to that outside lane. Kurishima gets beat down the backstretch, but will beat in through the turns. And then drifts up again. And now the 9 of Tetsu. Tetsu is going to be there on the inside, but has just enough time to move back down. Probably the 9 may be slowed down to help their teammate. We're going to see if we can go green and tick off some of these laps. Kurishima moves up to the outside lane once again, but I think the 9 of Tetsu looked like he was there, but wasn't there before. Still stays in ahead. Mahavira Gunaphan leading that outside lane. Ovals are definitely a specialty in this series, as now Chris moves in as we are 5 wide. Last time we were 5 wide, it ended up in a couple cars hitting the wall. But we'd stay ahead, stay green, no wrecks. Kurishima and Beijing Beef just holding their lines. The outside line has traded several times, and there's not really a consistent fourth line. So if we take a look at our track map, we could see where, okay, the 2 slow cars are about half a lap back. So we have a while until they become a factor. Beijing Beefs is being followed by Diogo Sebastião. I don't know if that second car is traded a bit. Before once again drifts up of a 99 moving to the outside. Don't know how this will go. But now that gives Tetsu the inside. He's just barely there, but it's good enough. So now Tetsu is going to have that inside line. Gonna try to lead some laps, I guess. But the 4 is still pretty fast. We are 5 wide once again. The 9 doesn't have the same speed as the 4, it seems. But it's about pretty close. Diogo Sebastião now the leader on that outside line. So Beijing Beef already second on that outside line and is probably going to get shuffled back soon. But now the 9 of Tetsu drifts up to the middle, and he's got Wine Silly Man right behind him, who almost wrecked with Phil Slow earlier. Phil Slow dropped back to 18th. Wine Silly Man dropped back, as now Wine Silly Man's going to have that inside. You can see a little bit of damage on his car from earlier. And the 46 drifts up. It seems like nobody really is trying to keep the lead. Just really wants to lead one lap, and then they cycle back. As now Eliza Doe is going to have that inside. And right behind her is Max Cold, followed by Jacques Croissant, Missing Sock, and Spencer Alfredo. So what we haven't really talked about, but is probably going to be pretty big today, is Spring Roll is all the way down in 23rd and off pace. He's definitely hoping for some wrecks up at the front because it's a double points race and he's going to be losing a lot of points if he ends where he is right now. That would only be about 14 points. So he's definitely gonna need to hope for some wrecks. Hopefully he can come in and get repairs in pit lane. Maybe fall a lap down, but still in it. Chris, his championship rival, is currently in 19th, so they're also not doing too hot either, but Beijing Beef is all the way up in 7th and is in a good position right now. Four wide, about even for the lead. It's getting a little close in the middle of the pack. Luckily, we've been keeping it clean. Only one yellow so far. That took out the 10 and the 83. 6 and 11 laps down, respectively. You see Chris all the way back there in 22nd. That would only gain about 2 points on Spring Roll as of now, so Chris gonna need to work a little bit harder, but we still have many laps to go. About 71 to go at this point. Oh, I was very off on that math. About 77 to go. That is more correct. As now, the 60 who was involved in that earlier incident is right there on that middle lane. Rebounded very nicely. About a quarter of the way through this race. The 15 stays ahead, but I think the 51 is a little too close for the 15 to move back down, so I think the 51 of Max Cold will be your next leader, as yeah, now he is there, the 51, up 22 spots since the start, biggest mover so far. Having a nice race. As they're a little close in the middle of the pack. A little bit of movement. I saw some wheel to wheel. Seems like they sorted it out, but that could have been pretty bad, especially since it was literally right in the middle of the field. Jacques Croissant right there. Is Max Colt gonna move right back down? Jacques Croissant up 22 spots since the start, started all the way back in 25th, or rather last place. So now we're gonna be thinking about when will they meet some of these other cars. Spring Roll is right up the road actually, and about to be put a lap down. Who's gonna be able to move around them? This could, and it seems like the 51 not able to go by despite all that room on the inside. So I think he's going to drop back as Eliza Doe is back to the lead. Two of Spring Roll right in the middle of the pack right now. And I think Saul Goodman just barely led that lap, but that was pretty close. Espinhel a little bit farther up the road, so we won't have to deal with him for a little while. .60 holding very well on that outside line. Gonna have to be carrying his team this race, as Gus Fring is all the way back in 25th, 5 laps off the car in front. And where is he on the track? Okay, he's just behind the leaders, so he won't be a problem until maybe later in the race, and even then. I don't know if we're gonna go green the whole time. I have a feeling a wreck is brewing in the field. They just seem very close together. I don't know when, though, but it can happen at any second. You don't know when the big one's about to happen. Because the cars are starting to get a little more crazy. 5 wide in the middle of the pack once again. Yeah, Chad Broski got a little too close to OxyClean off of turn 4. Just something small like that can take out a lot of good cars. 5 wide still, I think coming off turn 2 is going to be the danger area. You see Diogo Sebastião kind of pop up to the outside lane, and he's going to be the leader up there. Tetsu right behind Eliza Doe, Jacques Croissant right behind Saul Goodman, and then Max Cold behind Diogo Sebastião, and then on that way outside lane, the father is right behind Phil Slow. .15 of Eliza Doe, just trying to keep up with the 60, and then just is barely ahead at the line. So it's a pretty close battle at the top 2. So still 4x4 throughout the field. But yet they've been managing to keep it clean. We have gone about 21 laps since going back green, which is over double the time we had before we had our first green. Maybe even triple times. I don't remember when the caution came out, but I remember when it ended, it was lap 11. Eliza Doe drifts up to the middle. Tetsu is there, so he's probably going to be the next car in the lead. But Saul Goodman gets pushed up to the outside lane. So now he's going to have to try to work with that. But Tetsu now to the lead. We are coming up on a car. That's a 10. of Rogero Espinhel. We're gonna have to see who will be able to navigate around easily. Sussa Samogus right behind the 9. He was my pick to win. But a couple cars drift into pit lane just before they meet the lap traffic. Sussa Samogus now to the lead. The outside middle lane go by the lap traffic very easily. Kirishima, Sillyman, and Tetsu Tetsu all came into pit road. A 7.5 for Kirishima, a 7.9 for Tetsu Tetsu. He is just ahead. Wine Sillyman a little bit farther back, but now Jacques Croissant to the lead. Who's going to come off this time? Almost every car on that inside are peeling off. You got to be trying to move to that inside line now to be able to get into pit road, or else you're not going to make it. You see at the bottom, that's where they are in pit road, and they'll tell you their time. 7.3 for Missing Sock. That was a very good pit stop. And will be the first car back out on track after that. And just a reminder, some of these cars did pit earlier, as it seems Spring Roll has had an incident. He has stopped. He has came to a stop. I wonder if that could cause a yellow. And now we have a crash. Everyone held up behind the two. I don't know what happened. Did they just pile up, or everyone that pit got stuck behind because he was on the apron and they couldn't go up on track. They just all kind of couldn't do anything and just got stuck. And then the 50 hit the 99. That took them out. So staying out was definitely the better decision. Just a bunch, just very unfortunate for those cars to get stuck at the worst possible time. That was Missing Sock, John Panini, The Sun, Phil Slow, and Spring Roll all get taken out because of just one car. So I assume all these cars are going to be coming into pit road this time. Second yellow, lap 35. As the 10 of Espinhel is actually going to stay out. Oh yeah, because Espinhel is not on the lead lap. Eliza Doe, May Borowski, Saul Goodman. It seems like the 18 of Diogo Sebastio has come to a stop just before pit lane. Where is he? Oh, he was in turn 3 and he runs out of fuel. Saul Goodman will now take the lead as he did not pit. But all of these cars pit. They're gonna be out front. The 18 is now stopped on the apron. Just couldn't make it all the way around. So now we're gonna re-rack. All the cars are gonna be brought right back together. We had a little bit of pit stops under green, but now here we are, Kirishima out in front as they pit earlier. If we take a look at the last pit stop, Saul Goodman has not pit since lap 8, which was around that first yellow. So he's definitely gonna need to pit soon. Now let's take a look at your fastest pit time during that whole sequence. A 5.5 from OxyClean, a 4.1 from Wine Sealing Man, but that may have just been a splash of gas. So your top 5 as of now is Saul Goodman, Karishima Beijing Beef, Jacques Croissant, and Eliza Doe. Biggest mover is Jacques Croissant, up 21 spots since the start. Now we get ready to go back green. 60, not on full fuel and not on fresh tires. It's gonna be in front as we go back green. Saul Goodman leads us back. A nice start from a 60, a nice start from before. They broke away just a little bit, but here comes everyone else. And before moves to the outside, the 99 will go right behind the 60. And the 15 of Eliza Doe will be up on top. Before doing very well on that outside lane. Just trying to edge ahead. Saul Goodman still holding well, got Beijing Beef right behind. Who's doing really well for himself this race. Just trying to stay ahead in points. 17 cars on the lead lap. Wonder when Saul Goodman's gonna have to pit. As Beijing Beef gets a little squirrely in turn 3, but it is okay. As now the 60 will pull off to pit. I don't know why he didn't pit under green. Under yellow, sorry. As Beijing Beef tries to stay ahead, but now it is David Bialois out in front in that 16 car. OxyClean on the outside. As now the 16 moves up, the 84 on the inside as here comes the 9 as the 16 goes way up to the outside. Don't know why he would do that. Maybe he just wants to cycle to the back, but again, I don't really see the reason why. Moved back down to the middle, but now Chad Broski is going to be in the lead as he has now taken the inside. Espenhel has just pit, so is going to be lap traffic soon. So I'm going to have to keep watch of that 10 car. '84 of Chad Broski's got the 99 of Beijing Beef right behind as his support. Tetsu Tetsu is right behind David Bailos. OxyClean trying to get the outside in the line. I think that is the 83 of Gus Fring right behind him. Almost to the halfway point in this race. Chad Broski drifts up a little, but moves back down. Chad Broski still holding steady. Just doing what he needs to do to keep ahead. I don't know who has the most laps led, but if I had to guess, I'd say it'd be the 15 of Eliza Doe, who is currently in 9th place as of now. We've been staying pretty clean and pretty green. Chad Broski just staying ahead, keeping on that inside lane with Beijing Beat behind. After that, it would be Jacques Cresson, Sussus Amogus, and then Chris, who has really not been a factor this race. And has just kind of been in the back of the pack the whole time, except for like at the very start. Chad Broski drifts up once again, but moves back to the inside. As now Beijing Beef on the outside, on the inside, on the backstretch, just got a big run and went to the inside. But now Chad Broski's still back to the lead. Chad Broski just still holding steady. We're about halfway through this race. And all seems to be going well for the 84. He moves back to the middle, but now back to the inside. He is just not letting Beijing Beef have a chance. Gus Fring on that outside is 11 laps down, so he is not a factor. We're going to be coming up on some lap traffic soon, so we're going to have to be watching for that. Chad Broski has just been in full control the last couple laps. We're over halfway. He has done very well at leading the field. As here we come, 2-lap traffic. That is the 10 of Espenhel. How will he affect this lead pack? The 84 moves by. A couple other cars follow, while some check up massively. David Bialois right behind. Really messed with the flow of this lead pack as the 83 way down on the inside, on the apron. Don't know what he's doing down there. I don't know if he's just out of gas or something, but he is flying way down there. Chad Broski still after that continues to lead as Gus Fring now enters pit road. I don't know why he was prepping so early. But anyways. So next car that they're going to have to face will be the 50, who is currently in turn 4 as they are entering turn 4. So he's going to be a factor in probably about somewhere between 2 to 5 laps, I would assume. Lap 53. Your line leaders. As here comes the 15 on the inside, actually. The 15 of Eliza Doe gets there. And is getting a good run through the turns. Will the 15 move back to the lead? The 15 just completely caught the 84 off guard and caught me off guard. Has the 20 right behind. As Eliza Doe now to the lead. David Bialois is the line leader of that third lane. They are teammates. So they could try to help each other. I don't know how they'd go about it, but they can do that. Gonna be meeting the 50 of John Panini very soon. as they will throw him a lap down. Look at the 20, just trying to peek to the inside. Definitely wants to make a move. And the 20 once again tries to take a look at it. The 15 is kind of all over the place. And the 20 just keeps looking to the inside. And the 20 peeking again in the turn. If that 15 moves up, the 20 is going to be right there. As it happens, the 15 moves up, and the 20 is right there. And will now lead the inside line as the 15 is going to move up. Whereas the lapped car of the 50, they haven't really gained much on him. '20 of Maborowski up in front. And is moving to the middle lane. I don't know if there is room still on that inside. Beijing Beef just hasn't really been aggressive on that inside. The 20 was very aggressive on the inside. Maborowski was just taking so many looks to go for the lead. Chris now starting to move up through the field, up into 5th place now. And now the 99 gets to the inside, but still just isn't aggressive enough. '20 just holding well, keeps moving up, but the 99 just isn't being aggressive enough to really take the lead. He's just kind of been sitting behind. 10 got a little close to the 99 there. That could have been incident. 5 wide, it looks like, for second. One of those cars is a lapped car. That would be the 10, which is the pink car. The 20 now moves to the middle. It still has a strong lead on that inside to move back down. As the 99 wiggles a little bit. The 20 just been leading very well, but now here comes the 0 of Chris on the inside. Chris may be a little bit more aggressive. As now Chris seems to have the inside just enough to be taking the lead. So Chris now going to be moving into that top spot. OxyClean leads that third lane. The fourth lane, only 2 cars, Spencer Alfredo, and I believe that to be David Bialois. As no, it seems like that is Eliza Doe actually. David Bialois is second in that third lane. As now Chris moves up to the middle. The 45 just barely there, so now the 45 could be the leader. How this is playing out is very interesting. We're about 2/3 through this race. As now Jacques Croissant moves up to the middle. His teammate, Wine Sillyman's there on the inside, but he'll move right back down in front. The Zero doing very well on that outside, but just not good enough to keep the lead. Right now, the Zero would have a big lead over Spring Roll in the points now. A double points race is what gave Spring Roll the points lead. That was at Indy. He had won 2 races in a row. I think he's the only driver to have won 2 races in a row this season. So Jacques Croissant still leading good. He's got his teammate right behind, so I guess for that team, if the 46 takes the lead, it wouldn't be too bad. Chris has Maborowski right behind. And then right back there is Beijing Beef, who was third in the championship, who definitely probably isn't a big fan of Chris being up here in contention. Jacques Croissant up 23 spots since the start of this race. What we haven't really checked on is who gets the bonus point for fastest lap. That would go to Maborowski right now with a 48.1. As now the 45 moves up, but moves right back down. So now there's lap traffic just up the road. Now Maborowski leads that middle lane as Chris goes to the outside lane. Maborowski's got Beijing Beef right behind. And a couple cars pull off into pit road, so I think we're back into a pit stop sequence. As now here we go, lap traffic of the 50 of John Panini. Gonna be slowing up those cars on the inside as here comes the 20 around the outside. Followed by Spencer Alfredo. .50 of John Panini, a lapped car. 3 laps down as of now and is about to go 4 laps down if he moves out of line, but now that 20 is leading. So a couple cars entering the pits. Hopefully no one runs out of fuel again like the last time. As now the 50 pulls off, Wine Silly Man is going to be your leader as of now. So a couple cars have come into the pits, about 5 wide right back there. It's pretty close. Lap 69 of 100, nice. Wine Silly Man. Gonna have to see if some of the guys on the inside are just gonna pull off the pit. It seems like not everyone did. The father now right there on the inside. As it seems like we have had an incident. Beijing Beef has ran out of fuel. And this causes a yellow flag. He is stopped in turn 3 all by himself. And this will bring out the 3rd yellow of the day. Yeah, that car is stopped in turn 3. Wine Silly Man, I think, is the leader. And it seems like another car has ran out of fuel. That is the 84 of Chad Broski. Some of these guys just stretched the fuel way too long. And now these cars are paying the price. As I don't know why they're going so low on the track. Down on the apron, the 15 and 20, which means they're probably going to pit. So Wine Silly Man now leads as we are back under yellow. We've only had 1 crash today. The other 2 yellows were due to cars stopping on the track after a crash. Everyone coming into pit road except for those that were able to pit earlier, I assume. Kurishima is going to be taking the lead now. So Wine Silly Man wins the race off pit road. So, has anyone here not pit recently? No, it seems like they've all pit recently. Kirishima out in front. Fastest pit time from any of these cars. A 4-second stop from the 51 team of Max Cold. So there you go, there's that. So everyone has pit. Biggest mover as of now, up 18 spots is Tetsu Tetsu. Biggest mover so far. Your top 5 as of now is Kirishima, Ragunathan, Tetsu Tetsu, Silly Man, and the Father. Not a very usual top 5. We don't really see much of these people around. Especially like the Father and Ragunathan. We haven't seen much of. Wine Silly Man's been pretty. He's got some momentum behind him after the last couple races, so he's been doing pretty well for himself. So now we're getting ready to go back green. Lap 74, we're going to have about 27 laps to go, I believe. So here we go. Green flag is back out. We are racing once again here at Michigan. Will we stay green the whole rest of the time? Will there be a wreck? Will there be another car running out of fuel? I think everyone may be able to make it. I think those that pit under yellow will probably have the best chance of making it to the end. I don't know if Kirishima will be able to make it. The 17 moves to the outside lane. That's Mahavira Gunathan. We don't really see much of him in this series. But he's up here today. Tetsu Tetsu gonna be right behind their teammate. You see Chris, Spencer Alfredo. Seems like there is a big gap. It seems like only the top 8 cars. Well, now they're starting to come in, but yeah, it seems like only the top 8 cars got here immediately. Which could have definitely changed the race. Lots of time left in this race. A lot of things can happen. Ragunathan and Maborowski teammates. And they're leading the middle and outside line. A lot of cars now coming in from behind. So there's 15 cars on the lead lap. It's a 15-car duel. So I guess it's not really a duel. It's just 15 cars. I don't know what that's called. So they're all very close together. Hopefully we'll see all of them make it to the end by the end of this race. But you never know. as now the 4 moves up to the outside, and Tetsu's now gonna be on that inside line in the lead. Hasn't really been the strongest car all day. I don't really know who I could say it was. I guess I could say the 15 has been pretty strong. The 84 was pretty strong for a while there, but now he is 2 laps down in 18th. As now the 9 moves up a little but moves back down. The 0 kind of just trying to follow right now. Chris, both of their rivals in this championship, and 4th place too. 4th and 5th are way down in the points, so I think Chris will have a very strong points lead after this race if they can just keep it clean. They just can't be involved in any wrecks. Spring Rolls down in 23rd, Beijing Beef in 20th, Gus Fring in 25th, Phil Slow in 22nd. The only car up here that is a really big factor in the well, not really even that big. It's Tetsu, and yeah, he's kind of far back in points. So Chris will definitely be the points leader as it stands, earning about 70 points as of now. Eliza Doe now up there, leading the middle lane. 6 wide at the back. They somehow keep it clean after that. It seems like they will. It looked like there was some 6 wide action back there. It's pretty crazy as, oh, there's a little bit of contact at the back. Yellow flag is out. Spring Roll and Missing Socket seemed made some contact. And Phil Slow is also involved. Just another punch in the gut for Spring Roll this race. So let's see if we can find out what happened. Oh, I think he ping-ponged between Missing Sock and Phil Slow. As that is only the second crash this race. Missing Sock right back into him. Caught some air, ran back into Phil Slow, just misses Max Cold, and then Phil Slow hits Missing Sock. That was very close for Espenhel and others. Let's see if we can go on board down this back straightaway. Oh, just wheel to wheel. Luckily, he kept it off the wall, but that was still pretty. That was a very fast spin. Luckily, he didn't hit anything. But I think Sussus Amogus is your leader after that wreck. Seems like he was just barely ahead. And now is into first place. So that is very good for the 32. So the 4 of Kirishima comes into pit road. So the 4 is definitely going to make it to the end. And I think everyone else should be good as well. So now 20 laps to go at this point. Coming to 19 to go. Probably go back green with 18 laps left. So a lot can still happen. 15 cars still. That wreck only really took out cars near the back of the pack. Seems like Spring Roll and Phil Slow are still out on track. So a lot of championship contenders really struggled today. And that definitely is not good because it's a double points race. Chris back there in 7th would be earning about 52 points, which is about the amount that you'd get if you won a race. So it's looking very good for Chris as we enter the final couple races this season. After this race, there'll only be 8 races remaining in the season. So it is very much go time now. As we get ready to go back green with 18 laps left. Pace car pulls off. And we are back underway. Sasa Samogus is your leader, followed by Eliza Doe, Tetsu, the father, Wine Silly Man, Ragunathan, Chris, Croissant, Alfredo, and Goodman. The 32 not very great of a start. The 15 will move behind. The 9 almost followed, but quickly ducks back into that inside lane, trying to push up a little bit, it seems. Yellow flag is out. There's an incident no, there's just a car stopped. That is the 2 of Spring Roll still out on track. Same with the 07. They're still out here. After the wreck, they did not clean that up. I don't know why we are going back green. Why are the 2 and the 07 still sitting there on track? I don't know if the game glitched or what. Maybe DQing them will finally get them to do what they're supposed to do. Or are they still just gonna sit here and be annoying? Cars just aren't uh removing themselves from the track. This is very much a problem. I do not know why the 2 and the 07 are just sitting there. But this is kind of a problem. Two and 07 still sitting on track and they just aren't removing. Yeah, the cars are just still sitting there, and I don't know why they aren't removing themselves, but this could end the race under yellow. Very disappointing finish. This is what happens. So the 2 and the '07 are still sitting on track, and I don't know how to fix this. I genuinely think that they may have broke the game. This is no good. Um, so yeah, I just don't know what to do about the 2 and the '07. They're still sitting not where they're supposed to, and they're probably going to bring out just continuous yellows for the rest of this race. Here, maybe this will work. Cool, I can't remove the cars, so they're just kind of stuck. And once again, a yellow will probably be brought out. Yeah, there's just nothing I can do. Are you kidding me? I literally don't know what I'm supposed to do. Buh, 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 buh. Why won't it let me do this? So, cool, this isn't working, and I genuinely just don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know if I just let the race continue and uh I just s- let the yellows happen, but that wouldn't really be much of a race, so I guess I just have to let it play out, but this really sucks. This actually really sucks. Uh, this really sucks. So I guess it's just a duel and try to win each lap, I guess. Um, this kind of sucks, but I guess we'll make do of it. Sauces Amogus, currently your leader, but they gotta try to, if they want to get by, they're gonna have to try to pass him quick because yellow's about to come out again because the 2 is still sitting there. Oh, and the 9 and the 17 have now crashed, it seems, into them. Maybe? I don't know. What happened? No, I just got slowed down behind them. There's nothing I can do. I'm literally trying to Google as fast as possible. Think I'm just gonna call the race. This is it. This really sucks. But yeah, this is what we're gonna have to do because it decided to not work. And I've already wrote a angry message. So Sussus Amogus wins. Eliza Doe, the father, Wine Silly Man, Chris, Jacques Croissant, May Borowski. I'm just gonna call it from when the caution came out that first time when they're sitting there. This really sucks. I hate how this is how it has to end. I'll see you next week at Lime Rock.